My name is Jesse Chen. I'm from the United States, and it is a pleasure to be in Johannesburg. I represent American Civics Technologies. We're a technology company building a platform to connect individuals to their local, state, and national elected leaders, as well as their civil society organizations. The declaration process, as it was defined, started off with a very clear intention of building a global citizens movement. The intention was not actually on the declaration as much as it was on the movement. And I think because we had that focus, there was an eventual realization that we were not at a point to make a political declaration. There is so much to discover in terms of the global implications of a citizens movement. There are local considerations, there are global considerations, political, economical, etc. And we explored many of those aspects during the conference. We came across a number of what were called fault lines. And these were areas of the declaration that were proposals that had come up that were very controversial. And the fault lines actually reflected a deeper issue than just an ideological divide. It was actually an issue as to whether or not we were able to make a declaration at this point. So what we decided to do was we decided to change it from a declaration to a compass. And the idea behind the compass is to provide a guiding light, if you will, or a guiding direction for how this movement can build upon itself over the next 2 years. With this, another aspect that was mentioned in this conference was this sucking sound that relates to the loss of trust and credibility in the civil society space. And with that loss of trust and credibility, we've got to get it right. And we had to get it right with this process too. So it became a compass instead of declaration. The greatest challenge in drafting the compass was figuring out how to succinctly put together multiple perspectives into a document that could be understood clearly, not just by civil society actors, but your everyday citizen, your everyday global citizen, and in many different languages. I think that the reality that this group has recognized is this is building a movement. It will take a lot of time. It doesn't happen overnight. And so I think the greatest challenge for the group actually was coming to that process together and not expecting necessarily to come to that process, but thanks to the helpful facilitation by the organizers of the conference, we had that flexibility to make that shift and to make that departure from the original idea of creating a declaration to moving towards this compass. And so I think coming to that point was a challenge for folks, because I think a lot of folks wanted a declaration. I think a lot of folks want to check a box and be able to move on, but it's not that simple. We're not sure yet. And I think that is one of the main learning outcomes of this process, is that it is a deeply reflective process from here. The purpose of the compass is to aid in that reflection, and it will take time. We cannot wait and rest while so many atrocities happen around the world. I think that in terms of how the compass guides us forward, is this becomes a starting point for conversations at the local level, at the regional level, at the civil society organizational level. And the idea that I think all civil society actors who are behind this movement should recognize is it takes time. This is an analytical process, and clearly nothing like this has ever been done before. So because of that, I think we want to be very careful. I think we want to be very considerate of the number of factors, cross-cultural and local, regional, etc. And I think that this compass ultimately will help us as we move forward in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 2 years, and well into the future, as serving as that foundation that leads us forward and helps us attain our global vision of a global citizens movement.